Good morning, everyone. We're going to give everybody a second to kind of get logged in and situated this morning. Thank you for joining us the Tuesday after a holiday. Hope everyone had a good Labor Day weekend and enjoyed yesterday, although I know realtors don't ever really get weekends or holidays. We are joined this morning by Miss Sonia Smith and Crystal Ward, as well as Terry Hale with the Louisiana Housing Corporation. Louisiana Realtors is really excited for this partnership. We've been talking a long time about what the mission of the Louisiana Housing Corporation does for home ownership in the state and how we can get more realtors educated on what is available and what resources are available, not only to realtors in practice, but to your buyer clients. We had a great first series that talked about down payment assistance, and that was recorded. If you missed that, it was great information on some first-time home buyer as well as other programs to help buyers with down payments. Today, we're focusing on the home buyer education portion, and Miss Sonia Smith is a certified home buyer education counselor, and she's going to walk through kind of that process and some of the benefits so that you're aware of what's available and what to do on that end. And this session is being recorded, so if you find as you're taking notes you missed something, we can certainly go back and make that available for you to listen to. So thank you, Miss Sonia, for spending your morning with us, and I'll turn it over to you, and I can help you with the presentation as needed.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Amy. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Sonia Smith, and I've been with the Louisiana Housing Corporation for over 17 years now, and it took me 15 years to find my niche. I enjoy what I'm doing. I became a HUD certified housing counselor in 2017, and I began facilitating homebuyers education classes in June of 2018. So I love meeting people. I love helping people. So this is what I do, and this is what I enjoy doing. You can go to the next slide, please, Amy. Our classes are geared toward home buyers, and I try to keep the class to not a so-called a manageable amount in numbers, because there are a lot of questions. We encourage prospective home buyers to ask questions, and that's exactly what they do. Is due to COVID, the classes are now via webinar, but they are live. So I try to keep a low number in count so that we can answer all questions that they may have. We allow them to ask questions. You're welcome to send your clients, to the classes. The classes are free of charge right now. They are free of charge. The participants will receive a certificate upon completion of the class. The certificate will be good for 1 year. And right now, via webinar, there are 2 sessions. We have a 2-hour on one day and a 2-hour on another day. So we're breaking those classes up so it wouldn't have to be a long, full, 4-hour day. So the classes are broken up, and they must attend both sessions in order to receive their certificate of completion. Okay. Next slide, please, Amy. Okay. What we go over in class, we go over the advantages and disadvantages of home ownership. Letting the client know, or prospective home buyers know that home ownership is not for everyone. And the reason why I tell them this is because some people don't want to give up their lifestyle. They choose not to own a home, and that's their preference. But those that are there in the class, we strongly encourage them to allow us to help them accomplish their goal of becoming a homeowner. We talk about the steps to purchasing a home, and they hear from key members of the home buying team, such as a realtor, a lender, a home inspector, someone from insurance. We talk about homeowners insurance, as well as fair housing, because it's according to HUD, we have to implement fair housing into our home buyers education program, and they hear from our fair housing as far as speaking on discrimination, if they ever think they're being discriminated against, whether they're renting or purchasing. We make sure that is implemented in the classes as well. We talk about the cost of home ownership. We make sure that they clearly understand the cost and the ratios that are involved, what the lender looks at for their credit worthiness and affordability. We talk about the housing ratio, which is that front end ratio. Make sure we work the numbers so they clearly understand that. And we also talk about that debt to income ratio. We work those numbers, as well as a pre-qualifying worksheet. I give them to work. I show them how to work the numbers on that worksheet, as well as give them a blank sheet to where they can work their own numbers, because I make sure that they clearly understand, because I think it's very important that once they get clarification and understand the not only the process but the cost, it will be more easier for them to transition over from renting to purchasing. Okay, next slide, please, Amy. Okay. If they are interested in taking the class, they can go to our website at www.lhc.la.gov under events, and I have classes scheduled out there now. I think the next class is September 15th. So I think it's the 15th and the 17th. That's the next class that's coming up via webinar. So they're welcome to register for the classes. The classes are out there through December. So if they cannot make September, there's all the rest of the month throughout this year. So they can feel free to register for the classes, and I will respond to them. They will get an automatic reply, but I also will, once I go in and see that someone's registered, I would also send them an intake form, because HUD capture data from the client, that class participant. So I make sure I send them an intake form once I see their registration there, and I have that in order to provide their certificate at the end of class. So if they need to contact me, here's my number directly. I have my email address and my direct line to my desk at 763-8654, as well as my cell, which is 975-2832. So at this time, do you all have any questions for me? Feel free right now.
So what we'll do is we'll take questions in the questions box that's on the right-hand side of your panel. But if you can kind of maybe go over, where does this fit in from a realtor perspective, if they have clients that are, that could benefit from the homebuyer education? Like, how can you identify maybe who that you're working with could benefit from something like this? And, what are some common things that maybe are in your course or in the class material that could then be put into some of their buyer consultation stuff that is helpful information for their buyers?
Okay, that's a good question. Normally I ask 4 questions, during the class just to get a feel of where they are, and one of the questions are, where are you in the home buying process? And they have options of the answers that they can respond to. as well as why do they want to purchase a home. My other question is, have they ever owned a home before? And I'm stuck on the last one, and this is my question. um, what topic are they mostly interested in? Whether they need budgeting, whether they need uh, credit repair. I shouldn't say credit repair, but to improve their credit score if they need that. And we strongly encourage them to use a local housing counseling agency. And also there's a link, I can send that link as well to you, Amy. The link to HUD, www.hud.gov, and that link is where they can look for their local housing counseling agencies to if they need assistance with their improving their credit scores, for instance, like with LHC programs, they need to have a 640. So if they're not right at that 640, there are local housing counseling agencies that, and some of them are free of charge, that can offer them with their budgeting, show them how to budget, how to create their, their goal setting. They can do that as well, and they will do one-on-one counseling with them. And that's what we strongly encourage them to contact their local housing counseling agencies. And we do have Louisiana Housing Corporation has 18 nonprofits under its umbrella. So not only those 18, but there are others on HUD's website that they can also contact. Like again, I'll repeat that some of these services are free. They would just have to contact the agency directly, the nonprofit directly, and if there's any fee charged, is a very minimal, and it's not like they would be paying a certain amount of money every month in order to get their credit score increased. It won't be like they probably would be a one-time fee for a minimal amount, because these are government programs to assist low to moderate income households.
Okay, and so you mentioned the LHC specific home buyer classes. Y'all are doing them virtually right now. Is there a 12-hour credit class or something else for homeowners classes?
We do not have a 12-hour credit class, and when you say the 12 hours, I mean, is this in order to receive a certificate for the say that they've taken the first-time homebuyers course or homebuyers education course?
That was a question that came in, so I would assume yes, in order to receive a certificate. Or why don't you go over the process once they've completed your classes, then you receive a certificate, and what does that then apply to?
Okay, good. With my class, it is approved by HUD, and the class normally prior to COVID was an 8-hour class. But since we're doing it webinar, we try to we streamlined it to where they get all the information in, but within a lesser time. But they still have opportunities to ask questions, and we try to cover everything we cover in that 8-hour class, but in 4 hours. They will receive a certificate. The certificate is HUD certified. It's legit. So they will receive a certificate of completion, and that certificate is for in case they receive apply for a loan product like FHA or rural development that requires that borrower to take a homebuyer education course, then this certificate is their proof that they've taken a homebuyer education class. This is their proof.
Okay, and so once they complete the class, you get a certificate. You said that was good for 1 year?
Yes. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then what does that typically qualify in terms of money or down payment assistance if somebody can show that they've completed it?
Okay, like as I previously mentioned, that this certificate, just in case they need a home buyer's education course because they are a first-time home buyer. Like for some of our programs, if you're a first-time home buyer, you have to take this class. This would be your proof that you've taken the class.
Okay,
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
we
Yes,
sure
we can. Now we can.
Oh, yay! Okay, it took a minute.
Yay!
I'm sorry. I can chime in on that question as far as monetarily with the home buyer certificate. Miss Sonia's piece is another piece to the puzzle in order to gain access to the down payment and closing cost assistance that LHC offers. So the idea is for true first time home buyers to come in and take advantage of the class to learn definitely the steps and who represents who, but also that certificate is required for our resilient soft second, for our regular soft second, our conventional products, and our home MRB product. So if they are true first-time home buyers, in order for them to access that down payment assistance, they are required to have that certificate. So if they're not quite at a 640 credit score, it's still a good idea for them to take the class, to go ahead and hold on to the certificate while they work on getting that credit score where we need it to be. So I hope that that kind of helps. I'll be
Thank
quiet
you,
now.
Miss Crystal. No, thank you, Miss Crystal.
Well, Crystal, I like how you kind of added, that layer of where does this fit into the whole puzzle? And kind of why we started trying to do this was so that the realtor can identify maybe when, as they're doing counseling sessions or things like that with buyers, when they can kind of connect them to these resources. So can you talk a little bit more about that part? Like if I'm just a buyer coming off the street and I'm working with my realtor, at
Yeah.
what point can the realtor say, okay, this buyer is not ready yet. Let me put them in touch with the resources that are available from an education standpoint or from a financial assistance standpoint.
Sure. So let's say that they're in a buyer's consultation, first time home buyer, and they're really, really eager to go ahead and get the process started. I hear a lot of first time home buyers say, well, I have Credit Karma, or I have this credit app on my phone that checks my credit. Now, as a realtor, if you go in and you see that these apps say that they're somewhere in the fives or maybe even the low sixes, then that right there to me would be an indicator, because sometimes those are off, but sometimes they're not that far off, if that makes sense. That would be an indicator for me to start, kind of bringing up the conversation of, okay, maybe we need to look into some credit counseling. Maybe we need to look into, and then also some triggers would be, well, I'm really interested in purchasing. My credit is okay, but I have a small savings, but I don't really want to use my savings. That's a trigger. If I hear anything along the lines of, I'm a school teacher, I'm a police officer, I'm a firefighter, I'm a nurse, but I only do per diem work. Anything along those lines, or hey, I do this, but I have some reduced hours now at work due to the pandemic, but I'm still considered full time, but they reduced my hours. All of that. We do service the low to moderate community. However, we do not like using those terms. We say working class. So all of the essential workers, as they are known as now, all of the essential workers, people that work at Walmart, any fast food restaurants, people that pick up our garbage, some of our postal workers, any persons along those lines, of those types of professions, I would start mentioning it. So if you hear anything that I have a small savings, I don't really want to touch it. I'm an essential worker. My credit is okay, but I don't know exactly where I stand. All of that would be indicators to say, let me go ahead and mention the Louisiana Housing Corporation and maybe just start them with Sonia's class before even introducing them to a lender. That would be my idea, because Sonia can go in and educate about the process. She's really good about sending back those clients to their referrals. So you don't have to worry about that. They go back to their referral, and just educating them and letting them, at least they'll have that one piece, that piece of paper that they obtained during that class. That's a piece of the puzzle to kind of motivate them and encourage them to continue on through the process. So any of those indicators, I'm gonna say it again: short on funds for down payment, closing costs, small savings, don't really want to spend it, I'm an essential worker, or I'm in a public service position, and my credit is it's okay, or I don't have any credit, or I don't really know where I stand. Start them with Sonia. That would be my that's what I would say. Start them there to encourage them, to motivate them, because think about it, free, right? The class is completely free, and they're educated in the class. So that could be one thing off of their check that they get, they obtain. I hope that answers that, y'all.
I think it does. I think a lot of the times the realtors are running into buyers that are not upfront about where they stand with their credit score or what they can afford. They just are quick to want to go see properties or go look at properties. And so I know we've done a lot of education on our side with, new agents or people that are new into the business to say, okay, how do you do a better job qualifying the buyers that you're working with? So we had a question come in that says, how much money is available to qualified home buyers? I'm assuming that would be after they've gone through the education process.
Okay.
And
Okay, I can answer that. Yeah, so it depends on the product, truth be told. And that's where our lender partners come in and really assist in that area. Our lender partners are the ones who say which product best fits each client. So if they say they income qualify for our resilient or our regular soft second, our resilient soft second offers up to $65,000. I'm sorry, $60,000 in assistance. $60,000 in assistance, and our regular soft second offers up to $5,000 in assistance. $55,000 for down payment, $5,000 for closing, $30,000 for down payment, $5,000 for closing. That's if they income qualify, and those are parish specific. Okay. The rest of our products are based on the loan amount and they are statewide. They are not parish specific. The reason those first two are parish specific is because they are federal dollars, and they're attached to different disasters that have happened in our state. But everything else, MRB, home MRB, market rate, conventional, MC, all of those are statewide products. They can go anywhere in the state and utilize an LHC down payment closing cost assistance product. So the only funds, I know this question may come up, the only funds that will run out are those two federal ones, resilient soft second and soft second. Once those are utilized, they're no longer available, but everything else will stay around.
And where on your website is that product information available?
It would be under, if they go under home ownership and take a look under Homebuyer, under that tab, they can find it there. But we also have a new website that I'm trying to pull up now, because it is specific. We're in a campaign for home ownership. Terry, Miss Sonia, you know that website? Let me try and find it.
That Your Home, you talking about Your Home?
Yes, ma'am. Yep, that one. Can you
That
get
would
that?
be the next, if she can get the next slide, Amy.
Yep.
YourHomeLouisiana.com.
Great, and I will include that with our recap as well. At this time, does anybody have any other questions as it relates to the homebuyer education process? Not only is LHC providing them, They also have tons of community partners that do. The LHC classes are for free right now, and you can contact Miss Sonia directly to see what her schedule is and how she's scheduling them. Anything else y'all want to add?
Just a reminder that they can also go on the website under events and look for the classes, and there are classes that's posted out there for the remainder of this year via webinar.
Okay, and does LHC have any kind of like one-pager fact sheets or information that realtors can put into their buyer counseling packets, or anything that we can create to make that something that they can incorporate into their materials?
It's something that we are on. We don't a clear one-sheeter, but you guys definitely feel free if you have something that you would like to create. And if you want to run it by us and our PR director, Ms. Natisha Nat, if she approves it, then she may allow us to co-brand it as well.
Okay, well, we'll work on that from our side, that we can maybe put together as a resource for our realtors to keep in their buyer packet. Any other questions at this time? Thank you, ladies, for your time this morning, and everybody who tuned in today. We look forward to the next session. Let me just pull that up real quick. We have several of them, 2 more scheduled this go round. What is it on? Let's see, let me pull that up. I should have had this up before. So the next one that we're doing is September 22nd. That is what realtors should know about the Resilience Soft Second Loan Program. And then we'll do on what realtors should know about the Mortgage Credit Certificate. And of course, if you want to go back and listen to the down payment assistance and the details on that program, we have that available on our website as well. Thank you, everyone, and have a great week.
Thanks, Amy. Bye, guys.
Thank you.